Tonight, we dive into whether technology has truly killed boredom, or has it just transformed it into a new kind of restlessness? Join us as we explore our always online world and how it might be reshaping creativity, self-reflection, a little bit of quiet in our lives, and the very fabric of inner beings. Let's get to it. Welcome to the Rundown. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the Rundown. I'm David. I'm really happy to see all of you here. I am in a new comfortable chair, which makes me so happy. I've never had a comfortable chair when I'm at home for this show, but now I do, which makes me happy. But what makes me even happier is to have some of my friends here, like Tamara. Hi, Tamara.
I want a comfortable chair.
We just
What do you
got this-
have?
I don't know. It's like a cheap chair, but it's got lumbar support, and that's what I need.
Oh,
And my other one sitting right over here, I got one of those purple tushy pads that you like.
Nice.
It's purple is the brand, but it kept sliding off. It wasn't right. Whatever. My arms go up and down. I can swivel and shake.
I'm so excited for you. My friend.
Thank you. I'm very happy. I bet I'm even more comfortable than Tony is. Although Tony, you have a nice looking like executive chair going on there.
I do, but it's a BJ's Storehouse special.
Yeah.
And I've been rocking it now for 3 years, and I've just switched out different cushions, and I'm going to continue to rock with it for a while.
There you go. It's good to see you. I'm so glad you were able to make it tonight. Thanks for joining us.
Glad to be here.
And let's say hello to Lois. Hello, Lois.
Hello,
How
and
are
I
you?
have the best chair in the world. I got it at a Mac World in San Francisco, 20, 30 years ago, something like that. It's wonderful. I love it. The only trouble is it's developed squeaking.
Yeah. Did you pay an arm and a leg for yours?
Well, back then it was expensive because
Yeah.
it was new. It was really one of the first nice ergonomic chairs.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the company's out of business.
Oh, really?
And so I would get a new one if I could get the same one.
Yeah.
But I can't.
I have a feeling if I were willing to pay money for a decent chair, I'd really appreciate it. I'm just not. If I can't get something for $130, I'm not, or less, I'm not interested.
So they make cushions with strings on the corners so you can tie them to your chair and it won't fall off.
So this is my tushy cushion, and it doesn't have the strings. It has handles.
I know how you can put something on there with a safety pin.
I know what. Now I don't need it because now I have a nice little chair, so I'm okay with that. Hey, Dave, how's your chair?
Well, remarkably, the subject of chair should come up today because I sit in a chair from 1952. And it's a wooden office chair, swivel with a spring back, which squeaks loudly. And it was my father's chair as an accountant in his first
That's
job.
beautiful.
Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah.
So it may be wood, and I can sit for hours in it, but it's wood. So it's not going to be one of those cushy computer and programmer chairs. No.
I think my problem is that I have no padding on my tush. I have lots of padding elsewhere. I have plenty of padding. It's just not where I need it to
Not
be.
where you need it. Yeah,
It's not where I
that's
need it
right.
to be. Vic,
Well, good.
Vic got a new chair today too. Hey, Vic, congratulations on your new chair. And yes, he says Herman Miller is the gold standard. I've looked at Herman Miller's,
I have two.
and then I've quickly not purchased a Herman Miller. They're like hundreds and hundreds of dollars, I think, aren't they? I'm pretty sure they are. They're like
Yep.
crazy expensive. Yeah.
I've sat in some pretty expensive chairs in various other organizations, and they shell out for the chair and ergonomically correct and everything. And I saw some of the strangest, arrangements people had for their chair, and I thought, yeah, you just sit in.
My favorite is people who have desks where they can stand if they want to.
I have one
And
of
they
those.
desk
I
up.
have one of those and I'm sitting in a
I
chair.
just exactly. That's exactly right. Both my desk in my office and this one here both sit stand, and I have all of my gear strapped to the desk, so just everything goes up with it, the lights and everything.
Yep.
And yet I'm sitting. That's okay.
Maybe you're bored. I don't know.
Maybe. I'm not bored yet because we got some news. So here's something sort of interesting. OpenAI this week made a deal with Google, one of their biggest competitors in the world of AI. Now, it wasn't a deal about specifically AI, but it was Google Cloud Storage. Or Google, I should say Google Cloud, sorry, not storage.
Google Cloud Services, yeah.
Yeah, services, right.
Yeah.
So Google is dumping money, an extra $10 billion on capital infrastructure just to get caught up, because I think they realize that that everyone is behind a little bit OpenAI, although Google has made some really good strides with Gemini recently. But this is a huge deal. Anyway, how much is it? Let's see. Oh, it's not saying how much it is, actually.
I thought it was like 34 billion.
34
something
billion.
like that.
What's really fascinating here is that Google got this and not someone else, to me. That's the really interesting piece, is the fact that OpenAI was willing to partner with one of their competitors.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what that says about them. Maybe it doesn't say anything other than this is where they got the best deal. But
Well, we all know that Amazon doesn't make its money selling stuff to people. It makes its money off AWS, Amazon Web Services. And the services is so many multiples of billions more than their retail business. And if you think of Google search as a retail level, where it's just you and the customer and an advertiser, they have lots of capacity. And so Google Cloud Services is like AWS that way. And if they can get all the AI running through Google's cloud services, well, they'll make a fortune on the side. It's like, selling the wagons to the gold miners when they got to the gold rush. And the guy who made the most money sold the shovels and wagons. So
yeah.
And the food, don't forget the food.
food, yes. Yeah.
So with AI and Google now partnering,
Just buying, no, one is
No,
getting a
just-
deal.
I wouldn't call
Yeah.
this a partnership.
They're not partners
No.
at all. No.
Yeah.
One
Well,
is
it says
one is
partnership.
providing a service to the other.
Yeah,
Right.
So there's no problem with being a partner, and there's no problem with monopoly.
Or competing on the code.
No,
No,
because
it's just like they're renting. for
Yeah,
the space.
exactly. They're just purchasing services from Google. But the piece about this that between these two companies that is particularly fascinating is that if anyone was ever going to eat into Google's ad revenue from search, it's OpenAI, or it's AI
Right.
in general, right? Because AI in general is
All
what's
the AIs.
keeping people
But-
from clicking on those links, and that eventually will reduce Google's ad sales.
Yes.
So that would happen anyways. So now they get money for that.
No, absolutely.
Like it seems like a win-win.
It's right.
Yes.
They made a deal with their particular devil in this,
Yeah.
or
Right.
one of their devils in this.
Analysts are always talking about what Apple's going to do when they can't sell iPhones anymore, and they are working on getting other streams of revenue. And Google's realizing search has hit its peak. Search itself could be dead, because who searches when they can just turn to their avatar and say, "Give me the answer to this." So
That I just want to say that statement, "Search is dead." It's crazy to think about that. I don't disagree with you, but at least I didn't grow up with search. I didn't even have it until college, or even post college actually. But
You did. It was called the library.
yes, that was called library. But the idea that this just mammoth part of our lives as adults is now disappearing is really a little
It's not.
crazy.
It's not disappearing. It's just changed. So I ask this rabbit hole dot chat to about something, and it goes out and it gets information. So I'm still searching.
Mm-hmm.
And do we know what, I mean, we kind of don't know where this is all going to end up either, because
Right.
search in the beginning was like Yahoo, which had a very specific, like, categorical system. Then we could ask Jeeves, and then Google kind of figured out
Ask Jeeves.
the way to, that it was going to be. So I don't feel like we know what AI is going to look like and where it's going to land as where the breakout piece of that is. I think we're just so at the beginning of it that we don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
So here's a question to you. Do you trust going to Google and asking a question more or less than you trust asking an AI assistant?
Well, a caveat to that question is you have to bear in mind that now when you do that, and this is what I need help about tonight, so we'll talk more about this, but when you do that now, whether you ask for it or not, you very often get an AI answer first. And so even when you think you're searching, in many cases the answer that you're getting that a lot of people rely on is not a search answer, it's an AI answer.
But that's only the top answer, and there's all those other things below it.
But
I
most people
always
don't scroll.
ignored the top. I usually have it in the past ignored the top because those are the ones that paid to be on the top. So
I
I
agree.
just down
agree.
until I get a real answer.
Right.
And now
But it went from being like one or two lines to being an entire full screen. So you have to actually work at it to get to the actual links.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And well, we'll talk about that in a second. Okay, so the next thing is, and this is, I can't believe I'm going to say this. iOS 26, the public beta just came out. Zippity doo dah. Okay, I've been using the developer beta, and I was really excited that I found a bug. I was really excited about. I mean, so did everyone else on Reddit. But I also found a bug, which was exciting, and I submitted it. They actually have a couple of AI things that are working. And I'm really surprised by this. But they have this new visual search. Not visual search. Sorry, I don't know what they're calling it. Visual
ID or something?
No, it's not visual ID. But basically, it can not only see through your camera, but it can now see on your screen, which is a little bit like this Dia browser that I use, where it can kind of see what's on your screen. It also has, and I just did this today with a couple pictures. It has this really nice, what do they call it? Let me pull it up. So I'm not going to be able to show it to you because I don't have my fancy way of connecting my phone. But if, here, I'll pick this picture. In the top right, I probably could actually show you this. But in the top right, there is a, of your Photos app now. Here, I think I can actually show you.
Are you talking about Android or Apple?
No, this is on Apple.
Apple, okay.
Okay, wait a second. Is this going to work? I'm using one of the new features, which is where you can connect your phone to the doohickey and the thingy dingy. Yes. Okay, good. So here I am in the Photos app, and now there's this new little button right up here that you can click, and that uses AI. Now I don't think I'm going to be able to show this how it works, but what it basically did is, because I can't move the phone now. Oh yeah, look at that. So you can kind of see, you got some subtle movement in there. Can I zoom in on this? No, It's just letting me zoom in on the picture itself. I can't make the phone any bigger. I apologize for that. But you can see it separates the foreground from the back, and you get some subtle kind of 3D movement. That's all AI happening there. And it's really cool. Like, they did a really good job with this. I kind of like the, let's see, how do I get rid of this now? I kind of like the liquid. What do they call it? The liquid whatever?
Liquid glass.
Liquid glass, yeah. Like, it's kind of cool, right? If I bring down, let's see, I I never use
You
this thing.
said liquid glass. Is this a change to your phone, physical phone?
No, it's a user interface design.
So if you look at here, if you look at like down here, the educate, you can see that the folders are transparent, semi-transparent. I apologize. It's really not easy to show this on this particular tool, but there's a whole new look. Whatever. If you don't mind putting up with a few bugs here and there, the beta there's some nice new features in it, some really nice new features, and specifically a couple of those AI things, which I was surprised about. Go ahead, Tony.
I am enjoying it.
Yeah.
I have it on my daily driver iPad. I did not put it on my phone yet, but I have had the all of the betas. I put it on a device that my iPad is my daily driver. I watch my television with it. I consume YouTube videos, everything that I take it with me everywhere. And so I have had 26 on this, and I have not had any problems, and it keeps getting better and better and better. So I'm enjoying it on the iPad.
Yeah, I'm going to be. I decided not to do it right before the show started. I am going to be downloading the new Tahoe on this computer. It's not my.
David, do you know the key commands for zooming in on your screen?
So I do, but you can't do it with this particular app. I actually have a trackpad here that lets me zoom in, but you can't on this particular app. You can't. It doesn't work.
Which app are you talking about?
On this the with the phone connected.
But you can zoom your whole window, like your whole
yeah,
main
it's
screen.
not doing it for me.
Not
when I'm in this
responding?
mode,
Okay.
for whatever reason.
Be careful. It could be Command E.
I am not touching my keyboard, I promise. In any
I think
case,
it's Control Shift and then drag. So yeah.
in any case, it's a nice update. I think the official will come out in the fall, but not developer beta, excuse me, the public beta just came out. I think today actually, and it's nice. I like it. But I do have an issue.
Help?
So we were talking before about AI versus Google. So I'm now confused about when I should be Googling something and when I should be AIing something. And my confusion is not helped by the way Google has sort of structured this whole thing. So this is a Google homepage here. And if I type in let's see, what should I search for? Recipe for chicken and rice.
No more feeling lucky.
And rice. I'm a vegetarian. I don't even know if this is going to work. And Google search. Okay.
It doesn't know that, though.
I know it doesn't. But my AI would know that. So now it gave me some recipes here. Fine, beautiful. The reason you're not seeing all the other stuff that's usually here is because Dia has all these blockers in place. But now let me go back and let me grab this same thing and let me go back. And now I'm going to go into AI mode. And it kind of changes the whole thing. Now, I don't know if these two are ever going to meet or merge or become the same. But now if I put this in, presumably this is using Gemini. So, I mean, is there a right tool to use? I don't even know which. And here now, look at this. I got ads now. I guess these are ads
Those
or
are
are
the
these just
same.
links?
Those are the same recipes that you had
Are
at the
they?
top of the. I recognize that third one.
All right, I'm going to do this one more time. Let's go to so we can have both of them open at the same time. So we'll do this. Okay, so now we've got. Let's put this here and put this. All right, so now we've got both of them side by side.
Isn't that the same one? Isn't
Yeah,
the
it
third
looks
one
like
on
the
the,
same.
the right the first one on the left?
No, different. They're different links, which is also interesting, right? Why is Gemini or AI giving me one set of links and search is giving me, so that even deepens my confusion here. Which of these is going to give me a better result?
So now you've got two separate Google Clouds. How interesting.
So if you scroll down on the one on the left,
Yeah.
which is the standard one, and you scroll down, eventually you'll come
Oh,
to
here those are. Wait a
there's the
second.
three things. Yeah, that's them.
The seasoned homemaker. Is that this one? No.
That's the third one on the right.
Yeah, I know. I was looking for it over here. Minute rice. No, they're still different.
So if you scroll down, you will come to links to various places and it'll tell you what the places are. I don't know if they've gotten rid of the sponsored links yet, but you've got the normal stuff. If you go to the AI, if you scroll down, do you actually get to the same things?
I get. Oh no. Okay, look at this. Yes, look at this. So it says something went wrong with the response. I don't know why it says that. And then if you look, you're right. That it looks like AI also gives me search results, and they align perfectly. They're exactly the same. So for some reason, this is based off of these 5 links, but then it's giving.
So it looks like the AI one is giving you information in a different format, even though you're getting the same information. And I think it's going to be what people expect and want. So if I prefer to have an AI, format and style, I can click the button. And if I prefer the old style, I can click the button.
So it kind of depends on what it's doing. Is it giving you a recipe? Because I can't read it, it's too tiny.
I'm sorry. On
You
the
link
AI
to a
version the AI version
Right,
gives me a full recipe. Yeah.
So then the question about the AI version is, how is it doing that? Is it taking the recipes that come up in the links for the regular search and then compiling based on whatever reasoning it does its own recipe, or is it pulling an exact recipe from one of those links?
Right.
I think you have to look on the
Because
right.
then it is doing a step above just a search, right? It's saying, I've looked at all of these links and I've summarized and I've come up with the best chicken and rice recipe based on the common themes in all of the recipes that I read.
So
Yeah,
the thing on the right, though, is that a recipe?
Yes.
Is it it's not the whole recipe, the
Classic
thing on the right.
one pot chicken and rice. So I
That's
did it
on the
again
left. I went on the right,
over here.
to the right. No, to the right.
Well, this is my left. Okay, sorry.
That's left. Keep going to the right. Keep going on. No, you're going all
The right is just links to
Yeah, these
other
are just links.
to the very
These are the
specific
sources.
recipes.
These are the
Right.
sources that this is based on.
And
Right,
are
so-
those things there that you're hovering over now? If you click on that, is that going to a place to give you a recipe? Yes, it is.
Yep.
So AI is not writing the recipe for you. It's linking to a place
No.
that has the
No,
recipe.
no.
No, it's
It
not. I think
is-
it's summarizing the recipes
Right.
that
All this is showing you over here is the research where did it go to do its research? And then based on its research, it's creating this recipe.
yeah.
So that's a recipe?
This is a recipe right here. Right. Saute the meat, add in garlic and veggies, cook rice, add cheese and parsley,
Okay.
marry me chicken and rice. Right. And then there are actually 3 different, it's giving me 3 different recipes here. I actually got
Is
different.
the top one the same as the top one on the right?
The top, no.
So the thing that you said was just research.
Yeah.
When you go there, it's a recipe.
Yes.
The far right.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a recipe. Now, if you look at that recipe and you look at what you're going to do, is it the same as the thing that,
So this is the same as the instructions here. But so this recipe uses, right. So It's very
So it's
confusing to know what
just
this
a
is.
different way of looking at it.
No, you know what it is?
David, I have a question.
Hold on one second, Tony. So just to be clear, what's happening right now here is, Lois, you were right. It did not make this up. It pulled out of these 3 links 3 recipes.
The recipes, yeah.
That's what it did, and it took them out of context, which, by the way, is not great for the websites. This is why search is going to be broken. And because I don't even need to click on these anymore, I've got the answers that I need right here. Sorry, Tony, go ahead.
So if you were to ask the AI and the Google search this question, I have chicken, I have rice, I have cheese, I have cream of mushroom soup, what can I make with that? Would the results, I'm pretty sure the AI would tell you the different things that you can make. What would the Google search do?
Yeah. Okay.
It's not a search.
Well, that's a great question. So
right
I'm
question.
gonna put it in both. Come on. Okay. So I have chicken, rice, and cream of mushroom soup. What can I make with this? So in the AI, wow. Okay, in the AI, I've got given that you have chicken, rice, and cream of mushroom soup, you can and then it gives me a recipe, ingredients, instructions. It tells me what to do. And over on the far right are the sites that it went to. In just a Google search, the AI overview essentially tells me the same exact information. So if I click on Show More, I wonder if it actually is exactly the same. It's not exactly the same. This is a different recipe, it looks like. Yes, it is. So it gave me a different recipe. If I don't, and then below that, I've got dive deeper in AI mode, and then it just gives me a traditional search results.
And on the AI side?
Yeah, that's what I said before. The AI side gave me a recipe.
And when you scroll down below the first recipe, do you have more recipes? Do you have links to websites? What have you got?
By the way, I just did it again and it gave me a completely different answer. So we've got the tips for customization and then suggest other recipes. Then it gives you basically prompts that you might want to put in. Suggest other recipes. The real question, I didn't want to have to, my goal here is not to figure out, if Gemini is doing its job well. I guess my question was, I find myself by force of habit Googling things. But the more I think about it, maybe I should be AIing things, Gemini
No, you
things.
should be Googling. Definitely Googling.
Well,
Google is pulling from its same things when it is giving you its AI, whereas other AI that is not attached to that kind of search function is making things up or is going in and doing a search, but it's not pulling from kind of the same thing. I get very frustrated, to be honest with you, Googling and getting the AI. I really want to Google and get Google.
And the reason that I want to use Google instead of Gemini is because I want to go to the original people.
Right.
I want to see the person who created that recipe and put it up on their website. I want to honor them by going there. I also want to find out what else they're going to tell me besides just a recipe. So I would prefer Google to Gemini when I'm looking for something. Now, if it's a philosophical discussion, yeah, okay. That's not a search.
all right. Sky says, do you want to learn or do you want someone or something to do the thinking for you? So if you want to learn, you do a Google search. If you want something else to do that work for you, you do an AI search. Victor,
And if you just
and Victor says, use AI and then verify with the search.
Yeah.
And if you want something that is a short answer like, hey Siri, what's the temperature outside? Then you don't have to do any of this.
It's about 82 degrees outside.
See?
This reminds me of Buckminster Fuller, who gave me some great advice. Don't let other people do your thinking for you.
But we do. I mean, we're
No.
past that, aren't we?
There's a
No,
difference between thinking.
the
and
caution
gathering
is that
facts.
you should do your own thinking and not just be persuaded by other people's thinking. So if you're sure of what you know and you're sure the person you're talking to knows what they know, the trust is there. But if you're letting other people do your thinking for you, it'll drive you off a cliff.
And
I
there's a
feel like I'm
difference between
less.
thinking and just getting facts.
I
Yeah.
feel like I'm less trusting of what is coming out. Like if I see it on a TikTok, it sounds great. I'm gonna check it out. If I see it even on a Google search, I find that I'm less trusting of AI when it comes to facts. I'm more for this timeline so I can get something done. That's perfectly reasonable. But the more that we use it, I'm less trusting of even just a regular Google search.
I've found myself seeing photos that I don't want to be true because they're upsetting, and then convincing myself that that was probably just AI.
Yep.
So I've the distrust has even
Eaten into your reality.
right. It's eaten into my reality. Yeah. Yeah. I'm now using AI.
Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it just the greatest thing?
Right,
We
right.
don't have to trust reality anymore. We can make it all up in our heads. It's just wonderful.
People used to do that.
That's
for real,
terrifying.
too.
But are young folks Googling still? Or are they just AIing?
I think
they're
We need a
searching.
better
asking
word
your
for that.
phone.
Yeah, I see them searching. Yeah.
All right.
So here's a question to you, David. You've got Google, you've got Gemini. Where does this phone fit? It's not either.
Well, it is OpenAI is integrated into your phone. I mean that Apple has done that. That's because they couldn't get Siri to actually do anything worthwhile. They
I think,
partnered.
That's
with,
not true.
well, I
sure.
think somewhat of what you're talking about with respect to the device, the phone, it knows you better than anybody.
Right.
It's like your dog. It's responding to things that it understands about you, and then it's giving you what you want. And the more you use your phone, the more it knows you. And I've encountered this quite a bit, even in my notes and in other things I do on my phone. It knows and anticipates the kind of words I use. And I use big falutin words sometimes, and it knows what they are and it offers them up. So the more I use it, and it reminded me of the Newton would learn your handwriting. And over time, no matter how badly you scrawled, it began to understand what you were trying to write. And I think that goes way back. So your device is actually the thing that will tell you the things you need to know and can trust because they come from you. The things on the web or things outside in the big wide world of cloud is going to be untrustworthy and skewed and misunderstood and hallucinated. So we can get to untrusting reality very quickly.
Yeah,
But
I'm
it's
not- I'm not
also
sure
being
if I-
a mirror of you. Like I find more and more that I'll say something to my ChatGPT, my best friend, and then it will give me something back and I'll say, "Hey, what about this other perspective? I'm not really certain that I think we might be missing this." And I'll say, "Of course we are missing that. That's so insightful, Tamara. Here's what it would look like." And it just calibrates to a mirror, something that I already told it. And it's not giving me anything new. It's giving me the reason for the way I might have been feeling about something, uneasy about something. So I think that the danger is that we are going to take it as reality and we are going to take it as fact. And in fact, it is learning you just as much as it's learning other information.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't feel like my phone knows me at all, even though I do everything on it. Not since OpenAI, not since ChatGPT got memory. Now that ChatGPT has had memory, and by the way, that's why they have me now locked in. I'm now locked into that platform.
Yep.
Unless
too.
something explodes and destroys the world, because I haven't given any other platform
Yep, me too.
all of me, and it will never. Those platforms will never give me as good results because of that.
I use the other platforms to cross check because
I agree.
the other
Yeah.
platforms do not know me, and so I purposely do not put a lot of stuff in those other platforms, and then I will do like an alternate check with them. But you're right.
Mhm.
As soon as ChatGPT got memory, I was like, well, you're going to have my $20 for the rest of time, aren't you?
And you know what? Maybe that actually is part of the answer to the question of when to use search and when to use chat. If you want something personalized that knows, if you need an answer that is reflective in some way of who you are, then using a tool that has good memory is the way to go. And right now that's
Yeah.
if you're signed in, logged in with your account, that's chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
But
I had
Well,
Google Cloud has that Google Cloud that has, we've done experiments for years now. This is not even new research, but the research that if you and I were to put in the exact same search keyword into our Google, we would be given back different information. So I think that like that's actually something that's been happening a long time. That's why we thought when that this was going to be a great thing. We're going to have more access to more information. And in fact, what we're finding is that people have exactly the information that they expect to hear.
Yeah, but you know what? I think so. The reason that we get different results is because Google knows what we've looked for, what we've searched for.
Right.
And up until recently, I think that we felt like, or maybe Google told us that we are our search history. And what
Hmm.
I've realized is I'm not at all my search history. I'm much more my conversations.
Right.
And that's the difference for me is that when I use an AI tool, uh, because I've had conversations with it, it knows me differently than just what I've searched for.
Yeah, I
I
think
don't
that's
know. It's
definitely true.
just it to a certain extent, and it doesn't. It's not that it just feels this way. This is the reality still. Although this will change, I'm sure. Google knows me so that it can sell me stuff. That's why
Right.
Google knows me. OpenAI, ChatGPT, it doesn't yet. It hasn't tried to sell me anything. Nothing. It feels so much more pure. I know it's not,
But
but
I think that's some of the danger though too, right? The fact that it feels so much more pure and it feels so much like it's responding to me and what I'm saying to it and it's using the search history, which makes life so much easier. Listen, I don't even give it full prompts anymore. I go back in, I'm like, hey, I just need this little graphic, and it'll be like, here. And it knows exactly what I'm working on, and it can just cut through. Like, I can't even find an assistant who does that. So I think that's great, but I also think that there's a little danger in feeling so known by something that is inherently a mirror of you, that is the the kind of pitfall or the danger that we have with it. And
and
I
that
say that as someone who uses it every single day.
right, and that brings me back to what Sky said before is that I don't want to I don't want to lose the ability or the wisdom to know how to do my own research. Like that's I think that's a valuable skill, knowing how to research something. I don't always want just like you said, Lois. I don't want just the answer. I want the websites so I can go there because I will learn something that I wasn't expecting to learn. It's that
Right.
what's the word when something happens? Thank
serendipity.
you. It's that serendipity of learning something you weren't even searching for. And if you're
It's what
just
we
given
lost when we lost the card catalog, right? And we went to, you know, going into a computer and saying, I'm looking for this book instead of going through a card catalog where you have to run your fingers against lots of different topics and you find other things. So I think it's similar to that. The difference with this, though, in using my analogy of card catalog to a digital catalog, is that you have the opportunity to continue to refine your questions, and refining your question is research. That is what
that's true.
researchers do. They have a question, they get a response back, and they say, "Hey, that pulls this thread. Let me go down that thread." So in that sense, it is a little different than going from card catalog to screen catalog.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Uh-oh. What's wrong, Lois?
Nothing's wrong, but do you know that your phone watches you all the time? I know that it listens because if I say something, it reacts, right? It has to listen.
But it's not
If
listening to
I
all of
were
your
to,
words. It's listening
yes, it
for
is. It
cue.
has to listen to all my words in order to know that this word is or is not part of the phrase. So yes, it may not do anything with them, but it's listening.
Okay.
So if I am sitting here and I were to tell it to turn on a timer for 10 minutes, on the screen there would appear a little thing that says timer thing. No words, no voice, just a little thing. But if I'm across the room and I shout out to turn on a timer, it's going to say, "Your 10 minutes starting now." It knows because it's watching me.
But it could figure that out
I'm
by the
gonna-
distance of your
It
voice.
really does. I
No,
didn't
I'm
realize
gonna I'm gonna suggest it's feeling you because you
Right.
have it in your hand. It
Yeah.
has a gyroscope in it to tell you whether it's sideways or upside down or right
So
side
then
up.
that.
it's
And it
sitting on
shows
my,
if
it's
it
sitting
knows
on
you
my
have
desk.
it in the position of looking at it, it knows what
It's
your hand is
sitting
doing.
on my desk,
Yeah.
and whether I'm here or I'm across the room,
Mhm.
But
it's
that can be
different.
done with sound, not with visual.
Anyway, I
It's
think
all right.
that I'm
It is
being
listening,
watched.
that's for
It
sure.
is listening.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, everyone mute. Hey Siri, set a timer for 5 minutes. Wow, it didn't announce it. Oh no, it did announce it. It was announcing it. My phone's right in front of me. Wait. Hey Siri, set a timer for 5 minutes. And now it didn't do anything.
It
Oh,
already
my
set
Siri
your
has come
timer.
to your house.
I just want it to work. All right.
I was
Let's-
at a dinner party yesterday, and somebody asked how much time is left on the timer, Google, and three things responded. It was hilarious.
That's the problem with us, is that we have it responding from everywhere. Okay. I want to talk about boredom. It's not really boredom. It's inner life. It's being able to be quiet. I don't know how to sit quietly on my couch anymore. I've lost that ability. When I sit down, I take out my phone. No matter where I am. I can't even go, I'm just going to say it because we all do it. I will say it out loud. I cannot even go to the bathroom anymore and just enjoy the going. It's so
That's product placement right there, isn't it? No,
Right.
Has technology eliminated our ability to just be and to be bored?
Alone with yourself. Yeah.
No.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Lois, what do you
No.
say?
Well, okay. So I think that the five of us in this room are not the appropriate people to be talking about this, because I think everybody in this room can meditate, or I'm a Quaker. I sit in a silent meeting every week for a while. Figuring out how to be silent, which is something that we learn when we become Quakers, is a skill that anyone can learn. And a lot of people you don't even have to learn it if you can figure out how to do it. Meditation, riding a horse, riding a bike, knitting, doing things which allow your brain to stop thinking about stuff and just just go with the flow, be in the moment. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't think, if I have a lot of things that I can do. If I ever got bored, and I don't think I ever have, I could do any of those lots of things. Now I'm doing less than I used to because my energy is low, but that's not boredom. That's frustration or numbness or whatever. But okay, so define your terms, David.
I was going to mention that early in my marriage, I was invited over to some people's house, and we had dinner. There was four of us, and three of them are psychologists, and they were very comfortable with silence. There were moments in that whole dinner party where they would declare something, tell a little story, and everyone would go, "Oh yeah," very quiet, just with each other, just sitting together. And I noted to my wife later, I says, "Is it normal?" She goes, "What do you mean?" That everybody fell silent 7 or 8 times during our dinner. And I went, "I don't know how that happens. How do you guys manage to?" She goes, "Oh, well, we're people who listen a lot, I guess." Yeah.
I think the reason this came up for me is that I'm one of the programs I'm running right now is a summer camp, and so I've got a bunch of teenage girls and boys who are sort of being CITs and junior counselors in this camp. And I walked into the office the other day, and there were 6 of them sitting in the office, 3 on the couch and a couple on the chairs. And we've all seen this. This is nothing new. None of them were talking to each other. They were all on their phones. And this was their break. And none of them could just, and they work hard, none of them could sit quietly without a screen in front of them. None of them.
So I think this is such an interesting conversation because on the one hand, my brain has never been quiet. So I have never sat in front of a TV without something else, a book, a dictionary, something. So that's always been kind of a part of my world. But I literally just journaled this morning. I do morning pages. I try to sit down and I do, my spiritual work. And then I also just whatever's on my mind, I write it down. But I've noticed that I am not able to sit down, write it down, and then if my phone is there, not to grab my phone. So I do think that I've literally had to say, okay, I'm going to put some parameters around this. One, I'm going to take my phone off of my table, or I've been going out into nature places to write. And I found that like this morning I went somewhere that was really relaxing, and it was like I got to the end and I was like, this is the first time I have journaled in a very long time where I did not grab my phone. So I do think that yes, and the question is, it's now become such a habit that I have to really put parameters around it and say, I'm going to turn my phone upside down, I'm going to put my phone in the other room, because I do think that you're right, we're grabbing other things. Now again, I've always been someone who's been like, if there's information to be had, I'm constantly like feeding my brain something. So I've never been a still person that has somehow lost that, but I have always been able to journal or always been able to meditate or to do my spiritual stuff without that. And I do find that I have to make a conscious effort now to say I don't want to do that. Can I? You're right, Lois. I can do it, but it is so second nature. And so for someone like me who's an adult who had a before and after a cell phone, that is something that is recognizable. For kids coming up, they are attached in a way that is that before they have a full frontal lobe to make those kind of decisions and to learn those things. And one thing that I've noticed is that we are uncomfortable with boredom. Like not everything in life is exciting, but because we have so much instant gratification, then we have become socialized to grab for that instant gratification. And I do think it's more work now than it was even 20 years ago.
What are you showing us?
I am showing you other things that could there we go. Could be defined as boredom, but really aren't. You can't read that. I'll read it to you. You've got frustration, loneliness, indifference, anxiety, numbness, all those things that are feelings and emotions that we have, uncomfortableness, restlessness, feeling trapped, feeling hopeless. All those things are emotions that we have that sometimes somebody will say, they're bored. I'm sitting there reading a book. I'm ignoring the world. Does that mean I'm bored? No, it means I'm enjoying reading the book.
Right,
And
but
I wonder if
you're getting
But
hung
I
up.
think,
also,
yeah, you're stuck on the word boredom.
You're getting hung up on the word bored. My question is technology is this constant digital stimulation getting in the way of any of those things? I don't care what you call them, but is this constant digital stimulation
it's an
robbing us?
addiction, David. It's an addiction. And any addiction can happen or not happen depending on the person, depending upon the situation. I mean, it's like if you're constantly fed alcohol when you're a baby, you're gonna grow up thinking alcohol's normal.
Right.
That's the with the screens.
But the
is
difference
you
here,
think
and this
they're
is,
normal.
everyone says this, that technology is just a tool. I'm sorry, it's not just a tool. This is different because not everyone has equal access. Well, let me change the way I said that. Sorry. access to the internet, access to a phone, access is so much more ubiquitous than access to alcohol or drugs or anything else that's addictive. It's just it because and this isn't a financial statement or a class statement. This is that technology has been woven into the very fabric of our lives. And so you cannot live without it. You cannot function in society without accessing technology. And so it has been forced upon us in a way that nothing else has been.
I think we've asked for it. We haven't had it forced on us. We chose to go after this because we found it fascinating and interesting and different. But, you know, I was told that feelings that people have that arise when they're silent can be like a tsunami of fears or constant need to escape something. They don't know what it is, but they're always active to escape having to face those feelings. And I think in some ways, I mean, this is true for everybody. It's not special to any particular person. And it's cross-cultural too. It happens where people in Nigeria and that are constantly in motion and always doing something because they've got a problem and they don't want to face it. And this kind of thing is happening with, you know, young people all are going to have problems because they're trying to cope with understanding the world. And people like us have been in enough of it that we're not as anxious about not knowing something or not knowing what the thing to do next is. And in the sense that we're able to train ourselves, as Tamara's reminding yourself, you can sit still and it's not a problem. You don't have a loneliness. You don't have a problem. You're not fearful of anything or anxious. You're just sitting. And sitting, especially with a best friend, is a great thing. And I do it all the time.
And it's not boredom.
No.
I know. I'm stuck on that word. I'm sorry.
Tony, can I ask you a question? So you're a guy with a spiritual life, and yet you're also fully immersed in the technology around you. How do you balance? I mean, do you find yourself wanting to jettison the technology for the sake of your inner spiritual life, or vice versa, or do they just coexist beautifully together?
I think that I would say that they coexist together. And what I was about to say was that I think it's kind of generational. And from this standpoint, before technology, because I'm old enough to say before I was able to embrace technology, I had my face in a commentary, a magazine, a newspaper. There was always something that I was reading or trying to learn about, or I think that for me, you know, I was one of those people who was reading about computers before I had one. And I mean, I was reading about it maybe a couple of years before I had one. And so, and the library was one of my favorite places to go. So technology has not, I want to say it this way. My spiritual life has not, it has not changed because of technology. It's changed primarily because of some of the things that are going on in the world. But I would say that I have replaced going to the library. I have replaced using biblical commentaries, or Wired magazine used to be one of my things. I couldn't wait for another issue to come out because I wanted to read about what was next. So for me, it hasn't changed. I know that when there are times when I need to be spiritually minded, that there is no problem with me disconnecting from those things that are, I can easily turn things off, power them off, put on do not disturb on my Apple devices is a friend.
The best.
And and I would say that that is part of, I think, my generation. Now, my sons, I think it's a different story because, good or bad, my sons had phones as they entered, maybe even just before middle school. And so they, had the first flip phone and that kind of thing. I think it's a totally different thing. Now, I will say this. I don't think that I do as many creative things as I used to do. And when I say creative things, there was a time when I used to write poetry, and I thought I was fairly decent at it. That is not something that I've done, I would say, in the last 20 years. And so there is that, departure. But I think it's easier for people of my generation to disconnect from the technology
And
embrace it when it's necessary.
And so, Tony, that what you just talked about with the poetry is part of this conversation for me, is that there are always new things that come in and take the place of other things that we've done in our lives. That's life. Things change, the world changes, we change, we grow, we want to try new things. I guess part of my question is it a plus or a minus that technology has come in and taken the place of so many of these things, like writing poetry, that that were practices that would quiet our minds and our souls, right? Are we okay with that, Lois?
I think that, speaking as a creative person, my change in reaction to creativity is more to do with my age than other things. But what I have found is that for a lot of the folks that I talk to who might have gone out and done acrylic painting or done poured acrylics or whatever, and now they're happy to watch other people on videos doing that activity, and that's very rewarding. But it also is, you're being exposed to more people doing things in a really great manner. And so the question is, well, if I went out in my garage and did a pour, it wouldn't look like that. Why bother? So I think that part might be more what's getting in the way of
That's really
creativity
interesting.
I think that's
than the fact of I'm got a screen in front of me.
Yeah. No,
I mean,
you're right. That's really interesting. People watching other people do things instead of just doing it. Tamara, go ahead.
Well, first I'm stuck that I want to read Tony's poetry, but I'm going to get over that.
Vic wants to read it also, by the way, Tony. So we need some poetry from you.
I think what I'm realizing for me is that it's the content, right? Because I've always, my mom used to just drop me off at the library and I would just spend all day there. I loved learning new things. I loved books. So when we moved to digital, which I was out of high school by that point, and it was like an extension, exactly what Tony's saying. I was like, this is amazing. I now have more access to the things that I love. I find that in the last few years, I'm now drifting into like stuff that I don't necessarily love, that I'm wasting time on stuff that is just there. And so I think that's the part for me where I've had to take a step back and say, how much time do you want to allow yourself to just scroll through and watch other people's lives, or scroll through and do things that are not meaningful. And whether that means I'm going to write or not write or whatever creative thing it may be doing. I think Lois has a really good point, because it's kind of that Facebook problem where everybody is reading about a cultivated life, and it is a cultivated experience of someone else, and going, "Ah, their life is so amazing and my life is so not amazing." And so I do think that that is one of the definite downsides. But there are just times where I'll be scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and I'll go, what was, I just wasted all of this time. I don't even know that that time is gone. And I think that's the piece that for me, I want to be more intentional about. But I think it's so easy.
But can I pick up on another piece that you just said, and that is that this idea that we're watching other people. We're looking at other people rather than looking at ourselves. We're looking
Right.
outward rather than looking
Yep.
inward. That and again, of course we could do that before. Of course we could go to shows and we could see other, but technology at scale has allowed us to do that in ways that we never could have before, and that to me has robbed us
Well, there's a
bit.
cost to
Yeah,
that.
there's a cost.
There's a cost. There's a mental cost to that, that I think you do have to be aware of, because it is, we're seeing more and more the phrase died by suicide. And we're seeing more and more people who are having, real mental issues that are reinforced by some of the things that they're seeing, good and bad, because they're making decisions about their own life based on that. And I feel like, again, if I'm just being totally transparent and vulnerable, I have the exact same thing, and I've had to really make a conscious effort to say, before I was reading a bunch of stuff and I was being intentional about it. I had to pull the book off the shelf. I had to do things with intention. I had to go in search of it, or even if I tripped over it, I had to open that book. I had to physically do things that were intentional. And I find that the part of it that it scares me is when I realize how unintentionally I have wasted a half an hour with doing nothing. So and sometimes doing nothing is great. Like, that is exactly what I need in that moment. Trust me, there are times when I need those panda videos. They are amazing.
Yeah.
But I think that's where you're right. We do have to be able to, like, articulate what is going on, and setting the parameters where we can, and be intentional about it, the way that we were intentional about other things, about going out and playing outside every morning. In the summer, I was out the door by like 10 o'clock, and then I ran through the neighborhood. I went swimming. I got on my bike. I did these things with my friends intentionally. And now that, I think, is a piece that's missing.
Lois, go ahead.
And yet, when I'm sitting in the Quaker meeting and there's all these gray hairs around me, because, we're all getting older here. And then this summer, there have been more and more young people coming, joining us, and they're coming so that they can have the silence, that they can encounter themselves, or however you want to put it, but they're coming. And so I hope that we don't get too disappointed or too depressed or too whatever, because the young folks, they're picking it up.
And there's another side to it too. You know, we live in a space where this is a more inclusive environment. The fact that all of us here in our various homes are able to be here and to connect. People who would have had to travel for conferences and meetings, and they are able to connect in a Zoom meeting, or some other platform, and be able to um, interact and connect and have exchanges and interaction. No, it's not exactly the same as being in person, of course not, but it does provide an opportunity to be more inclusive from the standpoint that people who would never be able to be at a particular meeting or service or whatever you want to call it, or play, uh, you know, have the chance to have an experience that, didn't cost them a plane ticket or didn't cost them a bus drive or a hotel stay. And so I think, at least in my opinion, at this point, even though it is problematic in terms of,
Yep, I agree.
particularly for young people, I think, this is still a lot of upside.
I think that's why I struggle with it so much, though, Tony, because I have been blessed in so many ways, and I would never go back. So, like, I would never not want to have these experiences where I'm able to have, access to things. I mean, Tony, you shared your service with me this week, and I would never in a million years be able to go and do that. And it was very, I had a very personal experience watching that from my own home in California. So I think that's the part that I personally struggle with because I love technology. I love Zoom. I love being able to connect with people that I don't know. Lois and I last night were able to connect on a different kind of a meeting together, and we did not know each other before this. And I had a great time, and I feel like I wouldn't have those things. And for me personally, absolutely, it is not like I'm not going to give up any of this technology cold turkey. I think that it is, but I'm also struggling because I can see that there are times that I've just wasted time. I've just scrolled through things that aren't that intentional, and I have to be more intentional about them. But for me, the good 100% outweighs the bad. The access 100% outweighs it.
I want to make it clear that I did never intend to separate being busy and being bored. There's a continuum there, and you've all talked about how you fit these things and how you're conscious and intentional about them. And that's I think what I was trying to get at is that boredom doesn't happen if you do it intentionally.
Right.
So where's your intention there, David? When you're sitting on the couch and you feel you must be doing something or you must pick up your phone, what is your intention?
I'm not sure I have one, other than what
Is that what we've lost then? The intention, the creativity that came
Yes.
from my intention of trying or failing
No,
or
no, no.
experimenting.
It's not.
And
No. Look, I happen to be the kind of person who never sits still. So I don't. Lois before said that we all kind of everyone here meditates. I have never. When I was in rabbinical school, I had to take a class on spiritual direction and meditation. I know myself well enough to know that I would have failed that class, and so I did it as an independent study. I can't meditate. I could. I don't try to meditate because I don't.
You
As soon
exercise?
as soon as I quiet my mind, I start thinking about the fact that I'm quieting my mind. So I don't know how to sit still and be quiet. Having
but that's
said
why you
that,
use a spiritual guide to learn meditation.
okay,
In
but
in
having
the Zen
said that,
tradition, you learn from someone else. Yeah.
but having said that, I have been able to just shut up, like sit and just and my mind is still wandering, but I'm intentionally not doing anything, and I don't do that anymore. I just don't. I doom scroll. I don't. It's not even doom scrolling. It's stupid scrolling. All right. I'm looking at what it's one of the things I look at all the time now. Oh my God, it's awful on TikTok. AI animations of I think it's AI of cars going over a speed bump, and the faster they go, how high will they fly, and what's the percentage rate of you surviving if you're in a Chevy Tahoe and you go over a speed bump at 300 miles an hour. Like, it's the dumbest thing, and
I've never met an AI baby I don't love.
No, it's taking me away from not intentionally shutting up.
But David,
Yeah.
when you
That's the disconnect too, also.
and your brain is still working, is that different than when you're watching these things? Your brain's not working, you're inputting, right?
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay. So that is a way in which you are quieting your brain by doing something else. That's equivalent of knitting or horseback riding or whatever, so that I don't have to be busy in my mind. I can just be busy in my body. And that's when I'm trying to be in meeting, I'm trying to be quiet in the body and in the mind. That's like a meditation kind of thing. But here's okay.
Can I just say that that's fair. That's a really good point, which I hadn't thought of. Is that you're right? Is that my mind really isn't working when I'm watching these videos? It's just my eyes.
That's
You're
why you
right
do
about
it.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so here I have solutions. Everybody can set a timer to
That's
go
what I do.
off every certain amount of time, and have your assistant say, Lois, I think you should get up and walk around the house now. Okay? Or whatever it is that you want to do for your break. Problem solved. Your microphone.
It's funny you say that, because we don't even need to do that anymore. Because breaking news, as a Plus user, I just got access to agent mode in ChatGPT.
Nice.
Which means now ChatGPT can get up and take a walk for me. I don't even need to do that anymore. So you all are going to see me live. We just got it. Try it. Okay, it's in agent mode. I only have 40 of these, so let's make this a good one. Build a discount. Let's see, it gives me some suggestions here. Build a discounted cash flow model. No. Compile UNESCO data.
Build
on
a clock system that will stop you from doom scrolling.
Wait, say it again.
Build a clock system that will, an alarm system that will stop you from doom scrolling.
Build an alarm system, or a what?
Alarm
A
system.
reminder system, or
Alarm reminder system that will help me
limit
stop
your doom scrolling.
doom scrolling. All right, let's see what it says. It's
First, it had
thinking.
to have to go and find out
He's-
what doom scrolling is.
It's setting up his desktop. Because remember, in this, it uses its own. Okay. Sure. To help me tailor the alarm reminder system, could you tell me what device you'll be using? Wow. Okay.
Oh,
I would
right?
like.
It's always with
Oh,
you.
shoot. I didn't answer the questions. Okay. Well. All right. Well, we'll let this work, and I'll report back. If agent see, wait, look at this. It's in its own computer now. It's doing this work in its own computer. It found an article. This is crazy.
What's crazy is that it's sitting on my hands right now not to go to my own ChatGPT.
No, go check it. Let's see if everyone got it. I was waiting for this to come out.
How were you notified, David?
I just opened up
That it was-
ChatGPT, and I saw a little
It
notification.
didn't tell me. It doesn't love me like it loves David.
All right. Well, we don't. We don't sit here and watch me.
So I'm going to be your alarm clock.
I know. I
So-
got
So what I could see here is your agent is actually reading these articles for you.
exactly.
This agent is doing the job that it was asked.
Which
is to
means,
go
you know what that means,
research
Dave?
and find.
You know what that
Yes.
means? I now have time to be bored.
There you go.
Or get
Solved.
creative. Or get creative, yeah.
Lois
or to
has
get
solved
creative. Right.
Yes. Yeah. wait for it to finish doing its job while you're creating.
Yeah.
You can turn that off now, David. We don't need to see it.
You don't? Are you sure?
I'm sure.
I'm
It's
totally
kind of
psyched by
fascinating to
it.
watch it work.
Also, I don't have
But
one.
Well, that's the time you should be
Walk
taking
someone else.
I
to
don't
go
ha-
walk
I don't
around the
have,
room.
Tamara, I don't have
Yes.
it either.
Oh, you didn't get it yet?
Womp.
No, I
No.
don't have it
I'm
yet.
sorry.
No.
It's
Yeah, I'm
coming.
feeling-
You've just created FOMO.
Know
I'm
that
having
it's coming.
FOMO.
Yeah.
Know that it's
of
coming
missing
and that you could do stupid things like this with it. Which is just... Yeah. Okay. All right. Oh, wait. Okay. Here's a practical framework you can use to curb your doom scrolling. Wait, did this just give me suggestions? Or did it actually build something? Oh, come on. That was disappointing. It didn't even do anything.
Well, it asked
It
about
read
the
all the
device,
articles for
and when
you.
you didn't give it a device, then it didn't build anything for that device.
Right, but I wanted it to actually build something.
You didn't ask it to build something.
Yeah,
You
it
asked
You
did.
did, but
To
it
design
asked you a
system.
question about what device would you like me to put it on?
Use your phone's reminders or calendar app to create. But the whole idea is that you're going to do that for me. That's what agent
Well,
mode
man, you can
is.
say that's a
But
great
then you-
idea. Can you do that for me?
Okay.
Implementation.
Maybe
It
this
sounds
was
like all
just
you're
a,
thinking.
maybe this was just a bad example.
No, it was a good example. It only took 2 minutes. You've got a system. All you have to do is tell it, implement that on my iPhone.
No, I don't think it's going to do that. Maybe I'll try. I don't want to use another token though. I only have 39
Right.
left for
That's
the
the thing,
month.
yeah.
I have to be very careful with this. I can't. I see. I don't have time to be bored. I have to build things with my new agent.
There you go.
Oh my lord.
But will you be creative with it? Yes.
I will say that doing a show at 9:00 at night on a Thursday is really late for me. Like, I'm not a night person, and I spend not an insignificant amount of time worrying that I'll fall asleep before the show begins, and worrying that, asking myself, is this the best use of this hour and 15 minutes? And then every time I join you all, I'm reminded why I love doing this, because of the conversation. And yes, we're using technology here, but we're not doom scrolling. We're having thoughtful conversations about how technology impacts our lives, and we're having those conversations with thoughtful individuals and people, and Red Cabin Acoustic.
I'm glad we're keeping you awake. That's
You
what
are
I'm happy
keeping me awake.
about.
Red Cabin Acoustic and Victor Hernandez and Joe Cali.
our job here.
And
Yeah.
all the Tommy T and all these people, and Sky is there. All these people that are watching us online and participating in this conversation with us. It just, this is make time for yourself, everyone, to find friends to have thoughtful conversations with, because it's worth it. Every second of it is worth it. I'm so grateful to all of you. Thank you so much, guys. And thank you to
Glad to
all
be
of
here.
you for watching. We'll be back next week. I'm coming up by you, Lois. I'm coming to Northern California tomorrow.
Ooh,
You're in
good. Are
Northern
you
California,
stop
right?
in? I am.
Whereabouts are you?
Davis. It's just to the west of Sacramento.
So I don't know where I'm going to be.
Halfway between Lake Tahoe and San Francisco.
So we're going to be in Palo Alto.
Okay, so that's down in the Bay Area. So about 80 miles away from
Oh
us.
dear God. Okay. I love you. Don't get me wrong. I love you.
No, you don't want to take that drive.
I'm not driving 80 miles. But I will see you and everyone else next week on The Rundown. Bye, everyone.